The room exploded with applause when she announced it. We were having a baby. My wife, Lena, stood in the center of the dining room, cheeks flushed, her hand resting protectively over her stomach. Her parents clapped first, followed by my mother, my brother, and our friends. Champagne glasses clinked, cameras flashed, voices rose in cheerful chaos. I sat still. My fingers trembled around the stem of my glass. I could feel the laughter buzzing through the room, but it all sounded warped, like it was underwater. My heart thudded slow, deliberate, heavy. Because unlike them, I knew something they didn't. The child wasn't mine. And tonight they were all going to find out. 3 weeks earlier, I'd been the happiest man alive. Lena and I had been trying for months, tracking ovulation, cutting back on caffeine, scheduling intimacy like clockwork. She cried when she saw the positive test, and I hugged her, crying too, believing our marriage was finally entering its golden chapter. But that illusion cracked the day I found her phone left unlocked on the counter. It wasn't curiosity that made me look. It was habit. She'd been acting distant, secretive. I thought maybe she was planning a surprise. Instead, I found messages that tore through me like glass. Don't worry, it'll be fine. He'll never know. I can't stop thinking about that night. And one that made my stomach turn. When I told him I was pregnant, he hugged me. I felt so guilty. The contact name. Evan, work. Evan, the coworker she swore she couldn't stand. I stared at the messages until the words blurred. My hands shook. I remember the metallic taste of blood when I bit my lip to keep from screaming. I didn't confront her that night. Couldn't. I lay beside her, listening to her breathing, wondering how long she had been lying to me. Wondering how much of our life together was a performance. The celebration dinner was her idea. Let's tell everyone at once, she said. It'll be perfect. Perfect. I watched her now as she glowed under the string lights. She wore a pale blue dress that floated around her like a dream. Her smile was flawless, practiced. My stomach twisted. I wanted to believe it was real. God, part of me still loved her so much that it made me hate myself. Our friend Sarah leaned toward me. You're awfully quiet, Mark. You should be over the moon. I forced a smile. I am. Just taking it all in. Taking it all in. That was true enough. The betrayal, the humiliation, the absurdity of being congratulated for another man's child. My brother raised his glass. To Mark and Lena. You too deserve this happiness. The clinking of glasses rang in my ears. I could feel my pulse pounding in my throat. Lena looked at me, eyes sparkling. Say something, honey. I stood up slowly, my chair scraping against the floor, the sound slicing through the chatter. Every face turned toward me. The room fell quiet, except for the faint hum of the refrigerator and the soft music playing from the Bluetooth speaker. My voice came out low, almost calm. I'm so glad everyone's here tonight. Because there's something I need to say too. Lena tilted her head, still smiling, but her fingers tightened around her wine glass. I looked around the room, meeting each pair of eyes. We're celebrating new life. A new chapter. But before we raise another glass, I turned to her. We should also celebrate honesty. Her smile faltered. Mark, what are you? Because honesty is what makes a family strong, I continued. It's what makes trust possible. Her mother frowned. Is everything all right? I swallowed hard, my voice cracking slightly. No, not really. Lena's lips parted, color draining from her face. Mark, please. I pulled my phone from my pocket, the screen already open to her messages. I think everyone should know the truth. About the father of this child. Gasps rippled through the room. Someone dropped a glass. The shatter made me flinch. Her father's voice was a thunderclap. What is this nonsense? I turned the screen toward him. Read them yourself. Lena's face crumpled. Mark, stop. Please. No, I said quietly. You stop. She covered her mouth with trembling hands. Tears welled in her eyes, but I couldn't feel sympathy. Not yet. The silence that followed was unbearable. The kind of silence that swallows sound, where even breathing feels intrusive. Then her mother began to cry. My brother cursed under his breath. Evan's name echoed like poison between us all. Lena took a step toward me. It was one night, she whispered. I was drunk, we were fighting. I didn't mean for it to happen. One night. My voice was hoarse. And you were willing to let me raise his child. She sobbed, shaking her head. I was going to tell you. I just didn't know how. I laughed bitterly. You were going to tell me. Before or after the baby called me Dad? Her knees gave out and she sank into a chair, sobbing uncontrollably. I felt empty. Like I'd spent every ounce of anger I had just standing there. Everyone avoided my gaze. The air was thick with discomfort, guilt, pity. Hated it. Hated that my pain was now public entertainment. Without another word, I set my ring on the table. It made a small, hollow sound as it hit the wood. I hope he's everything you wanted, I said quietly, then turned and walked out. It's been 3 months since that night. I moved out, rented a small apartment by the water. Sometimes I wake up and reach for her, only to remember she's gone. I don't hate her, not anymore. I hate what she did, but not her. That's the cruel part about betrayal. You don't stop loving the person who breaks you. You just learn to live with the shards. I heard through a friend that she lost the baby. I sat in silence for a long time after hearing that. Maybe it was karma. Maybe it was just life. Either way, it didn't bring peace. Just an aching emptiness that words can't fill. Sometimes I still see that night in my mind. The lights, the champagne, the hope that died in that room. And I wonder if I had stayed silent, could I have learned to forgive her? But no. Some truths once spoken can never be taken back.